Welcome back to the 7th Star to the Right podcast. So we're all here again.
Yeah.
It's session 4. Yeah. So quick recap on what happened last session. What do you guys remember?
Oh, man.
It was quiet. Too quiet.
That's how it ended.
Yeah, no. I remember things backwards. Okay, we'll start with that, and then we'll...
Yeah, I bet you're wondering how we got here.
In media res.
Well, it started by finding a person in a rejuvenation chamber, or I don't remember. Stasis pod.
Right.
I guess they weren't trying to be healed. They were just trying to be held.
Her name's Claire.
Yes. We like her.
You guys chatted about her and chatted with her, and
we've adopted her now.
Yeah,
this is ours now.
But there's a big decision made when you learned of who she saw buying her, I guess, in quotation marks.
Right.
The man with the scar creeping up the left side of his neck, which you would assume, well, you are assuming, is Aaron version. So what are you guys doing now? You got out of metadimensional space. You look around and no one seems to be waiting for you. No one picked you up on their sensors.
We had a place we were planning on trying to go.
That's right.
We're going to Gal.
We're going to go to Gal.
Right, yes.
Because another thing you've realized is you are out of fuel. Yeah. So when it comes to traveling within a system, you don't, but I think it works off of gravitational pulls and stuff like that. So it's almost like one of those watches that you just sort of need to be around a thing or just walking with it and it charges itself. I forget what those types of watches are called, but basically within a system, because there are these planetary bodies, you can just go fine, take off, landing. But when you need to jump from place to place, that requires a substantial amount of fuel, which you have found...
We don't have that.
You don't have that anymore.
We require it. There's motivation, a driving force, if you will.
And another issue is fuel costs money, specifically around 500 credits.
Let me just check my character.
Let me just check my character sheet real quick. How much money between the three of you do you have?
I've got 180.
All right.
What?
I've got 100, right? Because you bought 2 beers.
Yes. So I'm down 2 beers worth of money.
I have 18 credits.
Damn.
Which makes sense.
So that's not even enough to buy a fuel load. So that's the thing that you guys are going to have to figure out as well.
Yeah, we can figure that out when we land. Or we can just steal it. We haven't decided what kind of people we are yet.
Yeah.
Not human traffickers.
Not human traffickers.
We've drawn that line.
You crossed that one off the list. Mm-hmm. So let me see if there's anything else. You've also, Nona realized that the ship didn't have any identification codes, which is like driving around without a license plate, which is very, very like... What's going on there?
And then I was like, nah. So then I put a motorcycle license plate onto our car and was just hoping people don't look too closely at it.
Yeah, exactly. So if someone takes a close look at it, they'll be like, what? No, that's not how this is supposed to work. But hopefully it's enough to, when you like call someone, you exchange identification codes. So if they don't look too closely, they're like, yeah, that looks
fine.
That's probably right.
A number, yeah.
Yeah.
A number is better than no number.
That's true.
So you guys are now in the Medinar system. You've just gotten in. So when it comes to spike drives, another thing that I forgot to mention last time, on one of our previous sessions, is there isn't necessarily a specific place that you have to leave from when leaving a system, but there's a general entry point when you jump into a system. Mm-hmm. And also gravity tends to affect spike drills quite a bit, so you need to be on the outskirts of a system before you can actually jump. So you guys are far away from Gal or anything else right now, so you'd also have to take some time to get to where you need to go. Also, something that you may not have realized, because quite a bit of it was hand waved, you guys have now spent almost a week together. It was definitely 6 days during the spike drive drill.
And we're best friends
traveling
now.
We've
You're,
had some
you're all
chats.
best friends.
We're amazing, yeah.
No secrets between us.
No.
Absolutely none. So you guys are heading to Gal. You get out. You get out of metadimensional space.
Oh.
Isn't anything immediately apparent that has caught on to you or what you're doing. So are you guys just gonna head to Gal?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sitting in the gun pit from what I remember, and looking around and not immediately saying something to gun. I guess I click my headset or however we communicate. Go, okay, Nona, can you get us out as quickly but as inconspicuously as you can, please? Please.
Sure. Which of those would you like to maximize?
Oh, both, as much as possible.
I will do my best to do that.
So you guys are heading towards Gal. So Gal is an entire planet. It's not
Correct.
just a single city. Is there a particular place that you were trying to go in Gal? Anything that you were looking for particularly?
I was kind of hoping that as we, got off the space interstate, there would be sort of one of those space signs. It's like gas over here.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're more or less attempting to find whatever the equivalent of that is, and maybe avoiding anything that is associated with our
The beholder.
current employers,
Yeah, but
former employers.
Probably former at this point.
Pretty sure it's
Well, do
former
they
now.
know?
If there's like a space Wawa that we can just get
Exactly.
over, grab a sandwich.
We're gonna avoid the Cumberland farms though.
So there are two bodies that you guys are aware of in the Metanar system that would have refueling stations. One of them was the place that Aaron Version wanted you to go. I think a place called Nansen 8 or something along those lines. Yes, Nansen 8. The other is the planet of Gal, which you can assume because it's a planet that has starships on it. It has many refueling stations. You just need to find like a populous center or some refueling station somewhere. So is there a particular place? I guess why I'm framing this in such a way is one of your members has been to Gal before and has existed on Gal. Shifty eyes.
He
around
hasn't
the table.
said
He hasn't said anything about it.
Who could it be?
All right.
How are we to know?
So you guys are just there's a couple of cities that there's the capital, which I have written down, Granite City. There is
They got rocks.
yeah.
That's where the gym leader is, I think.
It's not Pewter City, it's Granite City.
Oh, got it. It's not Brock, just Rock.
But what was I going with this? So are you guys trying to completely avoid like very populous centers? Are you trying to go to a more remote location?
Well, I think we're gonna have to find somewhere where we can get work. Like if we're trying to get out of here, we need to pay for gas. You need money for
Yeah.
gas.
Do we want to take this in character as we go towards as we drive off to Gal?
You guys are,
Yeah.
are heading towards Gal, and also just some background that you guys would generally know about Gal. It's not necessarily completely desert. It's not like Tatooine with its two suns and just all desert everywhere. But it's very rocky and it's got a lot of desert. So it's mostly sort of that very grayish, dusty. It was specifically used for mining in the pre-Scream times.
Hate sand.
Yeah, it's coarse and it gets everywhere.
Gosh darn it. Someday we're going to be able to talk about sand without someone bringing up that quote, but today is not that day.
I'm sorry, except I'm not.
Here it's soft and nice.
So Gal wouldn't necessarily be a place that people would want to live unless they needed to,
Yeah.
because it's mostly just a lot of mining colonies and sort of that factory type of work. It's very industrial in that sense.
Right. Well, for everyone's knowledge, if nobody mentions elsewise, I think I would default towards going to the capital.
Okay.
So that
All
is where
right.
I am currently driving right now.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I think that works. We just
pinpointing the
yeah.
capital specifically
Just
from
like,
the outer
"Bleh."
outer rooms of the
You
system.
asked us where we wanted to go.
Oh, yeah.
And also, yes, because the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line, Jeff.
Mhm.
Okay.
Driving.
All right.
All
So
right.
yeah, we're going. I don't leave the gun pit. I think Alex stays sitting there for some time. But I do want to press that same headset button. I think we put Claire on comms.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
I'm gonna.
she's here on comms.
Is
She's
he- does he
doing
have a headphones
great
on?
job.
I'll check. Claire, do you have the things on? Can you hear me? Yeah.
I can hear you, Alex.
Great. I'm glad everybody's here to quickly talk about what we're going to actually do. Honestly, I had all of my adrenaline ready to go and some other things. But yeah, while we're here, what's the plan? We're heading towards Gal. Find whatever refueling station we can find. And then, Claire, is there a place we are taking you? Is there somewhere safe that...
So I don't really have a home. My village was attacked and wiped out.
Oh,
Yeah. She sort of grows silent and distant.
okay. I apologize. There's no other place that comes to mind?
No, I guess heading back to Orisiame is the only real destination, but other than that, just I don't know.
Okay. Well, that's a start. Thank you for sharing. Just consider us your personal space Uber for right now. If more concrete details arise. Anybody else? Where we're going? What we're doing?
So we're gonna have to. We can figure this out when we land, I guess. But we want to kind of lay low, even if it's it's on Gal, freaking Gal. No one likes Gal apparently, but they could find us if we're in the capital. So we gotta find some quick work, stay under the radar, and then get the heck out of here.
Should I
think
not
that's the
go
plan.
to the capital?
Nah, I think it's fine. It'll be easiest to find something to do that's kind of quick and dirty there.
There's not a lot else in Gal besides the capital. At least not for our purposes. I guess, yeah, get there, find work, grab fuel, get out, and head towards Orisiame.
Well, if we were looking for the quickest way to earn money, we could potentially sell the drugs.
Yeah, that's
True.
That's, I think that's, yeah. We'll go on the
Yeah.
dark interweb, that place that that I remember, and here it is. Here's the name of it. Coming up right now.
The dark,
just the dark
yeah.
web.
The dark web. That's what it is. Okay, good. I got it right the first time. I wasn't sure. It's been a long week.
So you guys are just. It sounds like you're heading specifically to Granite City then.
We're going to Granite City,
Yes.
and so far the plan is to sell drugs.
That's a plan.
What could go wrong?
Yeah, well,
So you guys are. I think it takes about actually about another day or so in order to get to the planet. I think it's like 48 hours maybe. That's 2 days, but I will just say it's a day. I can't remember, and I don't feel like looking it up right now.
48 of your space hours, which equals
Just Terran hours. So you guys are coming up on Gal, and
and there's
you-
been like no sign of like, people coming after us or general.
no, it was it. You haven't noticed any attempt of reaching out. You haven't got caught on anyone's sensors. But since you are driving or flying directly towards Granite City, they are going to hail you, as one might. So, do you want Claire to take this, the hailing from the gal city of Granite City?
No, I don't.
I didn't want to say it because I do believe in her, but
So we did put her on comms, but I'm not sure she's quite ready.
It's been a day. It's been a day-ish.
I would advise not telling them about the drugs.
I think I'll run over to comms.
Okay, so you're running over
And
to
so, like,
comms.
Hey, yeah, I'll take this. Don't worry. You seem like you might be a little stressed. Just take a load off. It's all right.
So the channels open up and you hear Starship Charlie Beta. No, it's not Beta, is it? No, it is Beta. Charlie Beta 1 Romeo Delta. What is your business to Granite City?
Yeah, this is Charlie Beta 1 Romeo. Yeah, we're
Delta.
Delta. We're stopping in for a refuel.
Just a refuel?
And yeah, I think we're planning to spend an overnight and be on our way.
All right. When you land, please have identification ready. And the
Gotcha.
channel closes.
Oh, so easy. We're doing
What is
great.
identification? Like how much?
Yeah,
how much identification?
I don't
he's
think
gone.
I don't think that's gonna. I don't think we want that.
I don't know
So-
if I have my ID on me. I think I left that.
All three of you would have some form of identification, since you were able to get work with the Beholder Collective. It's nothing more than really just a driver's license saying who you are, which planet you're from. It's one of the very few interplanetary sort of administrations just to say we need to know who the fuck's going between places, and so we
Is
can.
it-
But they're not
identify them.
checking our registration.
No,
I mean,
no,
if they did, it would probably show up that the ship was owned by me because I changed the plates, right?
right, yes.
To be my old ship, which I
You-
probably
You're talking about the registration of the starship.
Yeah. If they wanted to check the registration, like,
it would be underneath your name.
and let's just hope they don't, because this is not a motorcycle.
Yeah, exactly.
If we do give them our IDs, they're gonna be able. The Beholder Collective's gonna be able to trace that we were here. But if we're out of here fast enough, that might just not matter.
I think.
So I think it's worth it.
I think if we were planning on buying the selling the drugs here, the Beholder Collective would find it. They're very exact drugs. They're not normal drugs. As the GM ponders this huge paper trail we leave behind.
Well, I'm assuming Claire also probably doesn't have an ID.
She does not.
Yeah, no, that's
The
the
only
rule.
thing that she had on her in the stasis pod were the clothes that she was wearing.
Okay, so
How
Claire, you might need to hang out in the ship and not have anyone realize that you're here, or we might draw more attention than we really want right now.
The smuggler's hold is pretty cramped but well hidden, and I would hate to put you back there, but we might have to put you back there.
Okay. Yeah, I can do that.
I'm sorry, it's very temporary.
Okay. She sort of like nods her head. She doesn't. You can tell she doesn't want to, but there's no other way.
So normally I would be a terrible person for suggesting this, but in character, should someone stay here with her?
I will go into the smuggler's hold if that's if that would make you feel better. It would be more cramped. Again, very fat. Less fat. Been losing weight, but gaining back. Let's not talk about it. But yes, I can certainly go and hide as well.
I can stay on the ship by myself. No one will be able to find me in the smuggler's hold.
Okay.
Sounds good to me.
Wait, so when we park the ship, is it like we go outside, go through customs? And is that kind of how it works? Or what are we expecting?
Yeah, it varies from planet to planet because Gal is kind of an outskirt planet and doesn't necessarily have a really strong like government. It's mostly just it's a lot of just mining towns sort of dotted around its surface. So it doesn't have a really strong bureaucracy. So it's not necessarily going to check very hard for contraband. You would assume, at least, as opposed to like Cass City, which is sort of a metropolis. You would assume that there's a lot more of a crackdown on that sort of thing.
But are we like, when we present identification, do we go out and show it to somebody, or does somebody come to meet us? And
yeah, you. So the general process would be you would land in one of their sort of parking spots if you're landing specifically within Granite City. If you wanted to land outside of Granite City, no one would really be able to stop you from doing that, especially since, no one would be able to stop you since it's kind of a sparsely populated planet. But if you're parking specifically within the city, there's just a little bit of extra, okay, this is who you are. Let me just make sure everything seems up to date. All right, you're probably good to go. You're probably not going to go on a rampage killing people.
We make no promises. We haven't decided that yet.
It's very true.
All right, cool. So in general, as we're going to land, I'm going to also go about the task of like basically making it look like there's only 3 people on the ship. So like completely clean up Claire's room and like get rid of anything in there and put it back to just normal kind of things, because when I lie thoroughly. Damn it.
Exactly.
When Nona goes off to do that, I want to go find her really quickly. So the ID, as a quick thing before I do that, is it a plastic card? Is it like a tap RF type thing, or how does the ID work?
This?
You would require someone who knows the ins and outs of specifically making these in order to make a fake one.
What about changing one? Is a question
like
that I would have for Nona if I thought that she could do it. I just kind of wanted to.
What do you mean changing one?
Like the same way that she changed the ID on the ship. Can she change our
yeah, I see what you're saying. That wouldn't really be possible because the identification itself has ingrained within it sort of like an ID code, and that ID code matches up with some sort of registry that has been put together.
So you have to change the registry, which is a hard task.
Which means you need someone who both has access to making those cards and also access to updating the registry.
Okay. So in that case, I go to find Nona. I kind of pick my head and I go, never mind. It's impossible. And then I walk away.
Okay.
So anything else before you guys are going to land?
I don't.
Any other preparation you guys are going to do?
Just checking from the last session, the telecommunication device that I pulled, is it like off or like inactive, or
it from the knowledge that you've gained from it, it appears to only work when it's actually plugged into a ship.
Cool. Perfect. Great.
It is not like, it doesn't have its own source of power at all, so there's no way to even contact it, even if it was
sweet,
like just out of the ship itself.
We could also take that with us and potentially attempt to sell it. Space pawn shop.
For sure.
So you guys,
I'm gonna depending on like, the size of it, if it's like I'm gonna take it with me.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's an encumbrance sort of size too. It's a big unwieldy thing that sort of locks into the ship itself. So if you're carrying that around, make sure you update your character sheet for that.
I can do that.
So you guys land in a sort of an airfield. There's a bunch of others. Yep.
Just before we like get too far away from the ship, as Claire is getting ready to do the smuggler sword, I want to give her my compad so that we can contact her.
Okay, cool.
From where she is.
Okay, she has the compad now.
Hooray!
Do you have another compad in order to contact her? Okay.
Well, these two have compads.
You guys have compads.
I no longer have a compad. I'm going to give her mine.
Cool.
Don't split the party. No one get lost. Everyone hold hands.
So you guys have this airfield that it's definitely low tech. There's the landing pads look nice enough, but they're covered in sort of this dust and sand a little bit because you're in the middle of a rocky terrain. Granite City it does not look nearly as nice as Cass City, which with these towering skyscrapers that reach up into the clouds. Granite City is a lot more mundane, more industrial when it comes to almost. It looks more like a New York City rather than something out of like cyberpunk, and it's built out of the rocks in a lot of places. It doesn't seem to be a very flat city in and of itself. So you guys land in the airfield and you see all of these other starships around, fighters, other sort of frigate class, nothing too big, nothing also really that catches your eye. You have you notice that as you land, there's a man standing on the landing pad, sort of guiding you down.
Mm-hmm.
You guys open up the front of the ship in order to the front of the freighter, and he comes over and he says, "Identification, please." I assume you all sort of give him your ID cards.
Yeah, I come up last.
He has a little device on him, and he takes each of the identification cards and scans them, gives them all back to you, and says, "All right, looks like you're all good here. How long do you plan on staying on Gal?"
It's going to be a little bit. We're a little strapped for cash. Let's give it at most a week, unless there's some kind of problem with that.
All right. It is $200 credits a day. 200 credits a day in order to park your starship here.
Great. Well, I have
We might need to head maybe a little further out of town. As we mentioned, we're a little tight on cash right now.
We can push things off until the end of the payment, but if you do not come with the full amount, we will have to send people to get our money back.
Of course.
We understand a lot of people don't necessarily land here with all of the most money in town. We understand that. If you can pay at the end of your stay here, that's completely fair.
Yeah. Good. Great.
He seems a little busy. He doesn't necessarily want to he's looking over like at other landing pads. Like, all right, you guys all set here?
All right.
Yeah.
Guess we're set.
All right. And he heads off.
Cool.
Great.
So you guys are in the middle of this airfield. So the airfield itself, it's kind of like what's the best way to describe this? It's a semicircle of and at the epicenter of the semicircle is this big building that you would assume to be sort of the airport itself. And radially outward from that, there are a bunch of paths with landing pads sort of dotted on the path out. Because starships don't necessarily need a lot of runway. They can just take off up and down. You don't need these huge airstrips like we would need today.
Gotta love the future.
Yeah. So I assume you guys are going to just walk down and head into Granite City then.
Yes.
Yeah.
So goals for us: obtain money, get gas, fix the ship, because we did not do that last time.
So another thing about that is it does require some time to patch up the ship. I'd have to look up specifically how long it takes. But another thing is I think it's like 1,000 credits per hit point healed. Starships are expensive, man. Yeah. But I will say there are a lot of things that you can do with a starship. So taking someone or things from one place to another, that's only a thing that a starship can do. And because there aren't a ton of starships in working order since Scream and all of that and everything's terrible, that can reach a premium. So you can take on travelers, supplies, and move them space truckers kind of deal.
Yeah. So no, I'm thinking maybe we prioritize that for once we get out of the Medinar system.
That's
I agree.
fair. If I stumble across a way to do it, I
Yeah,
will. But
sure.
otherwise, we can put it off.
All right.
So we are expecting 500 credits for the fuel, 200 for 1 day per day
Yeah.
of things. So we're looking for a lot of fast cash. Do I have a sense of how much we could sell one of the Revelry syringes for?
Yeah, give me a sec. I need to look that up.
As
So,
we're walking to wherever we need to go.
Reverie, I think, and we might want to look this up real quick within the rule book itself. I think it sells for $100 a dose. Sorry, 100 credits a dose.
Thank you.
Let me look this up real quick.
Flip to the tab that's just labeled drugs.
Drug.
Drugs.
Pharmaceuticals is what it's called, first of all.
Yes,
Thank
the
you.
fancy drugs.
Reverie doesn't help. Doesn't tell you the money.
It would probably be earlier on, I think.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it shows how
I
much you
have
would
it.
buy it for.
Here it is. Cost
yeah.
per dose 100.
Also, this Reverie is different in
Mhm.
some way. It's easier to apply. It also seems like it might be upgraded in sort of its effect. So
Yeah, it hits different.
you could probably sell it for a little bit of a premium.
Mhm.
So you have 100 doses or 100 applications, and at $100 credits, that comes out to about 10,000 credits, if my math's correct.
That would be right.
And if you want to sell it at a premium, you could get like maybe 1,500 credits. But obviously, that's moving a lot of
A lot of drugs.
drugs.
Yeah.
Many pharmaceuticals will be moved.
So we're sitting on a little bit of a gold mine, holding my voice a little bit lower,
Mhm.
and not using proper nouns. So we can make that up if we can quickly find an interested buyer.
Wow. First things first. Can we sell this thing? Dunk.
That might be useful if we don't have to sell it. We can just sit on it.
That's fair.
But I mean, if it's easier to move, then I just want to get out of here faster.
Yes, I was assuming we could space pawn shop it.
Let's find one of those first. If we can avoid selling our other products, I would like to do that.
Agreed. It would probably draw less attention, although not
Maybe,
none.
maybe not. I mean,
And the further
Yeah.
we get away from a communications tablet, I feel the better.
yeah. Would I know from kind of working with space technology if anything on this kind of communicator would like retain information, like call history or stuff like that? Things that we might want to wipe.
Phone numbers.
There would probably be some information like that stored within it. I think this device is alien enough to you that you wouldn't necessarily know how to necessarily go about doing that.
Okay.
You know what? I will have you roll a check real quick. So it'd probably be like an intelligence, either program. Yeah. Do an intelligence program check to see if you can figure out
Can I
how
do
to
that
wipe the
too?
information. Yeah.
Fantastic. I'm helping.
Are there
Not helping.
so Jeff, figuring this out quickly, are there any high rollers in Gao, or is it like a little bit iffy whether we can find one buyer who can shell out like 1,000 credits?
There are wealthy people on Gal.
Okay. Cool.
A lot of it is workers to some extent, but a lot of the wealthy people are the ones that sort of own the land or the factories or the mines. I don't know necessarily if they would want to buy drugs, but you never know.
How much do you know about rich people, Jeff?
a lot of drugs at once. Like they might be buyers, but you don't necessarily.
Yes.
Yeah, you get 7.
I got a 7.
Oh, you got a 7, and you got
Got a 7.
You also got
We
a
both
7.
got 7.
Neither of you are familiar enough with this technology to be certain that if you were to try and wipe it, that you would actually wipe it.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you want to sell it, that memory might still be out there, even if you attempt to try and wipe it. You know, like even when you delete a file on a computer or something like that, someone who's smart enough could still find that information somehow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which was why my original thought to share what I'm thinking here was pawn shop, because you get quick money, but then also you have a certain amount of days to come back and buy your thing back, which means you probably wouldn't sell it for a while. It would give us a decent head start. But if we feel iffy about that, we can also not do that.
I think it's a great place to start.
Yeah. If we can just kind of sell it, get in, get out, that's the easiest path. So it's worth a try.
All right. Somebody hop on Space Google Maps. Let's figure this out. Where we're going.
So I assume you guys are having this conversation as you're moving towards the epicenter, that building that we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
So as you walk down this path towards that epicenter, you notice 2 figures trying to start flag people down as they walk by them, and they're talking to them. And as you get closer and closer, you notice it's an Ursum man and a large black woman trying to flag people down. And as you get closer and closer,
Don't make eye contact.
Just keep on walking.
just
Just don't
down.
look at them.
If they
Why?
don't take the tissues.
No, just trust us.
Alex recognizes these people. You recognize these people as Delia Wyke and Atlas. The Ursum is a very large bear person, as we remember. He's got this white fur covered in this patchy soot, almost like a miner would have. He's missing his right ear, and a metal plate takes its place, and that metal plate wraps around the top of his head into his forehead and comes down to his right eye, which is replaced by a cybernetic eye.
Awesome.
Ooh.
And we're headed right towards them.
Laser eye.
Yeah,
there.
I turn down the nearest alley I can find. It's like, okay, never mind. Okay, even worse. And I duck into whatever quickly gets me out of their sight.
No, these guys are always trying to get you to sign some petition or sign up for something. It's super annoying.
We need to get the fuck out of here.
And the woman is nearly as large as the Ursum man is. She is a mountain of a woman with these thick dreadlocks that are coming down and has silver strands within them, so she seems to be a little bit on the older side. The sides of her, while she does have dreadlocks on the top of her head that sort of fall down towards her shoulders, the sides of her head are shaved. Kind of like the hairstyle that Lonnie has from She-Ra.
Oh, yeah. All right.
There you go.
I was going to say,
I can
isn't
see
that
it
like the
perfectly.
Macklemore or whatever?
Not with dreadlocks.
Undercut.
No, I just meant, the side
Just,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
The variation.
So to Alex, what you're trying to do, this is a very open space. The only things that you could really hide behind are like starships, and they're posted right in front of the door that you have to walk through. Are you going to try and hop the fence?
Oh, they're right in front of there?
Yeah. Like they're here, it looks like, specifically to flag down someone with a starship of some kind.
You appear to not want to talk to these
Yeah.
people. Should I go talk to them for you?
I understand.
It's very, very awkward. I
Suspicion of
just
random
cannot
people,
deal
but-
with very awkward things.
It seems like you know them.
Oh, you think so?
I'm picking up something.
Stupid psychics.
So what are you gonna do?
Well, right now I am
I'm
determinedly
gonna-
not making eye contact by
I'm
looking
gonna pull up
directly
my
at the
I'm gonna pull up my hood, realizing that there's no way there. Just kind of tighten it, and I'm gonna push these two in front of me and okay, go, just
Yeah,
So you
try and
you're
form a little body
doing
shield.
like a
Yeah.
little like
Yeah,
Oh.
I'm like, yeah.
make your disguise yourself
Yeah.
really briefly as you walk past these people. All right, I'm gonna need
Do you want to carry the giant thing that I've been carrying around? That might help.
Yes, I will take that. Thank you. And I hold it and I like have it like up here, like I'm really struggling with it, which I am with my 6 strength.
all right. So I'm gonna need you to do what would this be?
Sneak.
We don't really do we have we don't
There's
have
a sneak skill.
There's a
there
sneak
is
skill.
a sneak skill. Yeah, but what's the attribute? It would probably be like
We don't need to go this deep into it, Jeff. You
well,
can
you
just
need
give it to me.
when you
dude.
do a skill check, you need an attribute and a skill. So I'm gonna say dexterity sneak.
Oh,
even though
good.
It's kind of you're just sort of trying to like be unnoticed behind Nona and Alex.
They're coordinated enough not to draw attention.
Oof.
2.
God damn it.
Delia rolled a 10.
Well,
So as you guys are trying to make your way,
Can we try and help him by blocking real?
No one can help me.
no,
So
no.
pretty helpless.
That would be a +1 is the
Yeah.
max we could
Yeah,
give
yeah,
him,
yeah.
and that would not have been.
3.
Wow.
So
Counteroffer.
she comes up to you guys and like, are you guys looking for? And as she's starting to obviously bring her pitch,
Oh,
her
my
eyes-
fucking arms. Oh, this thing is so fucking heavy.
She looks over at Alex. Alex, is that
No, ma'am.
you? And she yells over to the Ursum, Atlas, get over here, it's Alex.
No,
And
ma'am.
he's like,
You
"What is
are
Alex?
You are confusing. You are confusing me.
and this very large Ursum man comes just not like sprinting towards you, but jogging over to you and just takes you
Be
up in a
careful,
big
this is
bear hug
no,
and just
this-
sort of
Oh, this is very heavy.
he has you wrapped in his arms and sort of like swings you back and forth like, oh buddy, I
This is very
missed
expensive.
you. And he like puts you down and Delia's like, oh, didn't expect you to see you back so soon. How are you doing? I'm sorry. Who are your friends?
This is Micah,
Hey.
who I completely described incorrectly earlier. I was since told, but was not told in the moment. And this is Nona. They are friends.
Oh.
We're only visiting for a small amount of time.
And
Yeah.
Delia sort of like looks you guys up and down. She's like, I'm Delia. And that's Atlas over there as he's still sort of like right next to Alex, sort of giving him like a little head pat. Very, very happy,
Ow.
sort of
Ow.
boisterous personality for Ursum that isn't necessarily always associated with them. And Delia says, guys, it's awesome that I ran into you. I haven't been able to flag anyone down about this.
You two are very imposing. I can very much understand that.
Well, they just,
No, but you
they
take
think
this back, please. I
pamphlets.
cannot pick it up.
Return to inventory.
So you give that back to Nona.
Yeah, I give the tablet back.
You said you had a strength of 6.
I have a strength of 6.
I have a strength of 14, so that's really funny. That's all.
One-handed.
Yeah.
Press this thing.
And she looks over back at you, Alex. She's like, so here, we need a ride to see and check up on a caravan that was heading back towards, oh God, what's the name of the town? Ragged Springs. You know what was going on there? We needed supplies. We ordered a caravan of things. We got word that there may or may not have been some form of ambush planned for that caravan. We need to get in contact with them, but their compads are all down. We haven't been able to reach them. We need some form of quick transportation to just go between the road between Dry Gulch, where they're coming from, and Ragged Springs, and we need to just see if they're okay and warn them that there might be an ambush coming along.
Just gonna look at Alex.
We're willing to pay.
We don't have much. We weren't even able to pay for our parking space right now. We've put it on layaway. It's we're in a bit of a jam ourselves. We're here delivering some cargo to where it needs to go, but we're out of fuel. We're looking for a way to make some cash. How
Nice.
much?
Yeah, we could. So, and she sort of tries to calm herself a little bit because it seems like the most that she has gotten in like word for with anyone so far. So we don't have much, you know that, Alex. But we do have a refueling station at Ragged Springs, you know that. We can fuel you up. We can part ways with some of the supplies. We can give you some credits, probably between 500 or 1,000 or so credits. That's all we can really have to spare. But we can totally fuel up your ship. We desperately need to get a hold of these people, and we have no other way other than like a starship.
I look at the other two.
I like this plan.
Yeah, I mean it does what we need it to do as far as work. You good with this, Alex?
Yeah, I am.
All right.
Yeah, let's turn around.
Quick question.
Sounds pretty great.
Does this space parking garage have a if you've parked for 30 minutes or less, it's free kind of
Are we out for the whole day
I do
already?
need to get this validated.
You would assume that if you leave without sort of waiting a significant period of time, you wouldn't have to pay. It's
Wow.
Fantastic. Let's do that.
Yeah. This is like an overnight place to sort of park stuff. If you drive in, realize there's no parking spaces, or decide to leave immediately because you need to take a piss, it's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then,
Well, you should probably have toilets on your starship. The more that I
Probably.
think about it, that
Yeah.
would be a terrible plan not to.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Explain how
you just
things
wanna
went
go
down
find
on
a
that
nicer
spike drill.
bathroom.
So you guys are heading back to the ship then, right?
Yeah, and are they
I
coming
guess so.
with us?
Yes.
Okay.
So as you guys sort of agree to this, you can just see Delia. She had like a lot of stress sort of in her shoulders. She was very up, very tense, and just seeing Alex and hearing you guys say yes to this job, you can just see all of the tension sort of wash away, and she's just obviously very relieved. And Atlas is sort of just hanging around. So they're gonna follow you guys back to your ship, and you guys are gonna sort of get everything. What are you doing?
So I'm going to hang back as we're walking back to the ship and pull up my compad and get in touch with Claire.
Okay, so it rings, and you hear hello.
Hey, Claire, it's Micah. So, bit of an update. Good news. We got some work, and I think we're gonna get out of the system real quick. Found somewhere to get refueled. Slightly sticky bit is we've got some randos who I guess know Alex who are gonna be on the ship for a minute.
Oh, okay.
So you just hang tight. Pretty much same plan as before. Just we're gonna be like in the ship. But just wanted to let you know, don't stress out. Kind of hang in there. It's gonna be over pretty soon.
Should I stay in the smuggler's hold?
Probably until we tell you it's okay to come out.
Okay.
You all right? You set up. We gave you some snacks. You good for a little bit?
Yeah. I can do that.
All right, you're a champion.
Now I'm starting to wish we hid the drugs. You know that thing
the crate's closed.
where
The crate's
people like come
closed.
over and you're just like, don't look at how I live.
Well,
No, I don't. I don't understand this.
so you get back to the Blue Robin. You walk up into it. So there's only really one way to get into the Blue Robin, and it's through that front sort of walkway that was down when you saw it in the warehouse earlier. So there's not really much of a way. Did you hide
The crates wherever it was before just closed.
It's just closed, so
Pretty much.
It doesn't have all of these drugs sort of
It's just
strewn about.
syringes on the floor.
We're not animals, Jeff. We pick up after ourselves before we leave. Goodness gracious.
Keep our drugs in the box, like sensible people.
In the drug box where it goes.
So, remind me, David, how long has it been since Alex has been on Gal?
Not long at all. At most like a couple months after his removal from Gal,
Mhm.
let's say. And then he lived on Cass as best he could.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So as you guys are walking back to the ship, you can hear Delia aside to Alex. I haven't seen you in a couple of months,
Mm-hmm.
and you already have a gosh darn starship. How did you come across this thing?
Oh, it was all paperwork. You just have to fill out the right forms. As I'm sure you know. And how are you? How's everyone?
Well, let's just say things went well for what we were trying to do. We are trying to establish ourselves outside of our previous employers. Our previous employers don't particularly like that thought, but they can shove it.
Yeah. Okay.
But I'm glad to see you're okay, Alex.
I'm glad you two are doing well as well. It's good.
I am going to be absolutely fascinated with Atlas's artificial eye.
Are you just going to be
Staring at it more or less.
No, that's not not nice. He's used to it, but it's still not nice.
And you can get he sort of has this very low, deep like laugh. Just, I lost this thing in a mine accident. Oh, beam fell right on my head. But Alex here, he stabilized me, and we're able to get these cybernetics all up. Now I can see better than ever in my right eye. My left eye is kind of not so great after the mine sort of collapsing on my head. But you know, you win some, you lose some.
Alex, what a guy.
Yeah, I'm very good.
Basically, I would like to be asking a lot of questions about specs and stuff involving this. Do you know, just sort of like semi-rapid fire, like, oh, what model is that?
Yeah.
You know, as one does, but I don't actually like know anything about cybernetics. So can we just pretend that I asked those questions?
Well, that's a flavor conversation. We'll put that in a black box. That happened. We don't know what's in that box, but it happened.
Perfect.
And you get the feeling from him that while he has the eye and all of that, he doesn't necessarily know all of the nitty gritty about how it does the things it does, necessarily what model he remembers the name of like the maker and stuff like that. So he has some patchy information, but it's not like he's an enthusiast of cybernetic eyes.
Other question, can he see in color? Can he see other things that are invisible to normal people's eyes? Like,
there are a couple of different settings for the cybernetic eye. Infrared and night vision are one of them.
Cool.
It also causes some migraines every once in a while just because of the difference. I don't know if you've gotten over those yet, but...
Yeah, you deal with them. I've had worse pain than migraines.
Probably like when the mine fell on your head.
He points at you like, yeah!
Me and this bear man are now best friends.
All right, so you guys are back in the Blue Robin. I assume you're gonna take off.
Yep.
So the route that Delia specifically talked to you guys about, there's only one road that runs between Dry Gulch and Ragged Springs. Very Western names, if I do say so myself. So it's not exactly right next to Granite City. It's it's not necessarily on the other side of the planet. It's like a quarter turn. It would be like, it's in you guys are currently in New York City, and where you guys are want to go or is in like California. So it's going to be a little bit of a drive to get there, but that's why they needed a starship to get there as fast as possible. They couldn't get a car or a grav vehicle or something like that, because that wouldn't reach there in time.
Okay. While that's happening, I want to talk to Dahlia. Just kind of in public is fine.
Mm-hmm.
So why were you so far away from Ragged Springs? What prompted this?
Well, it turns out that local governments don't necessarily like talking directly to the workers. They prefer corporate liaisons. Since we no longer have a corporate liaison,
Your own fault.
well, I would say we're doing better for it. Because we no longer have a corporate liaison, we need someone to go to Granite City and talk them into actually supplying our little town with supplies. Granted, we can still mine and do the things that we were doing before, just with less of a middleman for ourselves. I was elected to be that person, and Atlas was here for my company. I heard through the grapevine that one of these caravans that we bought, the supplies that we desperately need, now that we no longer have a doctor.
Your own fault.
I would say it worked out better for you then, don't you think?
I just kind of like hold out my hands and like freshly showered, because now there's a shower, but still like greasy clothes, torn, like dirty. Yeah, sure, we can say that.
Give Alex a thumbs up.
Better poor than dead, I would say.
What?
There's some interesting social dynamics going on.
Oh
here.
yeah, we're asking questions after.
Huh.
But yeah, we heard through the grapevine that this caravan that we hired was maybe going to be ambushed, and we needed a way to contact them. For some reason, their compads aren't working. We can't reach them, so we needed some way in order to reach them fast.
So we're flying into something that is maybe requiring, let's say, violence.
Well, either we're early and we warn them and we can get them off that road and avoid the ambush. We're too late and the violence has already happened. Or we get there at the very moment that the violence is happening. Now, how likely do you think that would be?
I hate you, Jeffrey. I hate you so much right now.
Well, given my luck recently, we'll find out. Are you carrying something, a laser pistol, anything there? You know, I have one, but I am a terrible, terrible shot.
Oh yeah, I got my laser pistol here. Old Atlas has got a laser rifle. Stash, you saw this. He had a sort of on the back of him. He had like a strapped laser rifle. So that you can tell that they're definitely armed, not necessarily ready for conflict, but well, not necessarily looking for conflict, but ready if it finds them.
Okay.
They're not wearing like combat armor or anything like that.
Can we not just use the guns on the ship?
You can. Ship guns against people tends to be very effective.
Efficient, yes.
Is there any problem of accuracy shooting those guns, or is it just like gonna vaporize your face?
If it hits you, it's good.
Yeah. Let's just say it's accuracy with ship weapons when it comes to accurately pinpointing a single person is not possible. What you would do is basically make a crater where they once were. So if you're trying to like snipe a man who has a hostage, you're wiping them and the thing that they were hiding behind off of the face of the planet.
Yeah.
Completely fair.
That
But
makes sense.
if we do stumble across a scenario in which the two groups, the ones that we cared about and the ones that we did not, were separate enough, we could crater
That's very
the
true.
one group.
As long as no one's danger close.
Perfect. I mean, like Jeff said, what are the odds of that?
It seems pretty unlikely to me.
Okay.
Well, yes. I'm also, doing that whole flying thing. Or like getting ready to do that when we get back.
As we get
It's relevant.
closer, Alex is going to reach into his pack and just kind of hold his laser pistol between like his just forefinger and thumb and just have that readied.
I'm gonna start limbering up a bit because Micah might appreciate if maybe we showed up at just the right time. And in case we do, I'm gonna get some dynamic stretches in.
And you're going to be leaving Claire in the smuggler's hold for this period of time.
Is it enough out of the way from like the kitchen or wherever that we're keeping them that like we could go check in on her without them noticing?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the kitchen area is closer to the front of the ship, closer to the cockpit, and the smuggler's hold is basically near its rear end.
If you wanted, we could like give them jobs up by me. Be like, sit
we
here, be
can
on
run it.
comms. It's incredibly important.
We're definitely keeping them up there for like one reason or another.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, sit here, listen in on this. It's incredibly important.
Okay, yeah. So I think I'll, after getting some good stretches in, go back to Claire, like, sneak away when we have them doing something else, and just kind of like knock on the hold and fill her in on what's happening.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so she knows what's happening. Do you have a plan of like if she needs to go to the bathroom? Are you gonna? I want to know how poor this poor child is gonna be.
Oh no. Where are the bathrooms all by the kitchen?
The bathrooms are by the kitchen. That's generally how plumbing works.
Fuck. That makes sense. Okay. All right.
How long have we been gone? Like we just put her in there.
You guys would probably be flying for like an hour.
It's going to be
or something.
like a
So,
few
like-
hours.
But she has to pee.
Right now.
But does she
No,
though? Is my point.
No, it's fine. She'll be fine for the immediate future. But if you guys have them on the ship for much longer, you're
All
going
right.
to maybe need to sneak her out for one reason or another.
Then when we get to do what we're doing,
Unless you want her to pee in it.
presume
No.
like we
No.
could get like a wash pan. What do they call that? The
Bedpan?
bed
Something like
pan. Yeah, but not ideal. What
Chamber pot.
exactly?
We're going old school.
I think when we get where we're going, hopefully we get these folks off the ship, and then we can get you up to do the business.
So you guys
have
are
a plan.
you guys are flying towards it.
It's not a great plan, but we have one.
So the plan is to fly over Dry Gulch towards Ragged Springs because
Yep.
that's where the caravan's going.
Yep.
And you're just sort of following the road as you go along
Yeah.
to see if you can find the caravan.
If we get within comms distance, we can hail the caravan, presumably, and like check in with them that way, even if we don't have visuals on them.
So the comm itself, for some reason, they weren't able to
That's right.
reach them. You would be able
Some
to call,
reason.
you would be able to call them from like anywhere on the planet, assuming that there's like coverage. So it's not, well, there might not be coverage out here because they're in the middle of freaking nowhere.
Curse you, space AT&T.
The worst, the spottiest 10G.
Today's episode brought to you by.
There goes our sponsorship from AT&T.
Oh no.
Well, if we get
All
close
right.
enough, we can just roll down the window, lean out, and shout.
Yeah, is it like, do we have any like loudspeakers on the outside of our spaceship? Probably not.
No, I don't
Yeah.
think that would necessarily work.
No.
All right. So you guys are taking this trip and you're going along the road. The road itself is very, very mundane. It's not dirt, it's still paved, but there's parts of it that have definitely some dust over top of and some sand. The thing that's coarse and rough and gets everywhere.
Mhm.
Hey,
Over top of it. And you don't see all that many cars. It doesn't appear to be that this is a very used road. Not many people seem to. It's empty. It's expansive and it's empty. There's not a whole lot of things that you see. So you guys are probably about halfway through your trip when
Your
you
ship
notice
explodes.
something on your ship crashes and everyone dies.
Hooray!
Thanks for listening.
That you notice something on the horizon. And before you see anything of substance, you see this thick plume of smoke on the horizon. And as you get closer and closer, you can make the silhouette of 3 ATV explorers, something that Delia has described to you as what would be carrying the supplies for Ragged Springs, in disarray. The front vehicle appears to be on its side and on fire. The second vehicle has its grill pressed up against the toppled one, and the third one it seems to be parked awkwardly off to the side, as if the driver needed to make an immediate stop for some reason.
So probably most likely something crashed and like the last guy kind of sort of, is that what we're more or less talking about?
From the scene, you could see the most damage is to the first one. You
Yeah.
assume something bad happened to the first truck that caused a blockage of the second and third.
Got it.
So you see the third car, the third truck parked sort of off to the side awkwardly, kind of a little bit disheveled off of the road. And about 30 meters out on either side of the caravan, you notice 2 hover cycles that, as you get closer, appear to be in pristine condition, albeit a little bit dusty from driving through between Ragged Springs and Dry Gulch. So you guys see this. You don't immediately see any people.
Nona, can we do a scan on the hover cycles?
So what exactly are you looking for when you do a scan of these hover cycles?
ID, what they're registered to. Do they belong to the company? Obvious weaponry.
We're checking the plates and other basic information about them.
Okay. That most of that information wouldn't necessarily be immediately available to like a non-government official.
That's fine. Then just guns and capabilities and stuff.
Yeah, they're just standard hover cycles. They don't have any guns or anything like that. They could probably fit 1 or 2 people. Definitely only need 1 to drive it. Would be faster than a motorcycle, and has the capability of hovering between 0 and 10 meters off of the ground, so able to handle terrain pretty well.
Cool. I would probably land semi close to the third truck and
maybe it
might
might make sense for me to draw this scene out for you guys a little bit. So we might want to pause for a hot second as I draw this out.
Okay.
All right,
we're back. I've drawn up a thing so you guys see what I'm talking about. We've got I can't actually see it anymore, so someone else describe it real quick.
Yeah, so we've got a straight road going between Dry Gulch and Ragged Springs, and we've got 3 trucks or ATVs that are kind of in a rough pile sort of in the middle. The first one is on fire. Looks like the second one might have crashed into it. The third one veered a little off the side of the road. And there's a hover cycle on each side of that straight road. And we're coming in from the Dry Gulch direction.
all right.
There we go. So where you want to park?
I'm planning on landing to the left, so between one of the cycles and the one truck that didn't crash into things or is on fire.
Okay.
So closer to where you are.
I see. All right.
Left of the road.
Yes, left of the road from our perspective.
So you circle around, and I can everyone roll a wisdom notice check for me, please?
Yes.
Surely.
3d6.
7.
5.
Wait, no, 6.
7. Sad.
You see some of the drivers, particularly of the first that is on fire and the second that was crashed into it. The first one appears to be beyond all saving. The second one appears to be passed out on the wheel itself. You don't immediately see any fatal injury with them, but you can't be sure if they're alive or dead. The third driver is nowhere to be found, and you don't see anyone else.
Okay. So we're landing. We're sitting down. Yeah.
Yep.
What's the state of the hover bikes? There aren't any people on them, but they look like they were parked.
Yeah, they're parked.
Okay.
Just gonna put that right there.
David is
in
handing
combat.
out combat sheets.
Just in case. You never know.
Yeah, you never know.
Sometimes you need it. Who knows when? But as we're sitting down, if we'll open up the doors,
Yep.
I'm gonna kind of go, Atlas and Delia, you know the drill. We'll go out to the drivers first, and we'll book it out, ride it right back into the formation. And I want to head towards the second car with the slumped over drivers.
Okay, so you're going to go specifically for the driver that you can see, the one that and the second truck that's crashed into the one that's currently aflame.
Yes,
Um,
the one with the still alive person in it.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna turn on my telekinetic armory.
Okay.
So,
And I'm
Everyone's sort of
taking
like-
Atlas and Delia with me.
Okay. So
with the
can
gun
you put those
specifically.
people on the map?
Yeah, I guess.
And yeah, I'll come out and I guess if they're just running out, I guess I'll kind of follow them and try and cover, make
I'm
sure that they're
gonna-
safe.
Go stand on the ramp
Okay.
of our ship with.
Where's the ship? You want to
The ship.
just draw a
Probably
big circle somewhere?
one or
Yeah.
two was where I was picturing. Yeah.
Like here,
Sure.
right?
Yeah. That works.
There you go.
Yeah, so just kind of right to the left of the road where all of those ATVs are crashed.
Yes.
And sort of in between the other hover bike.
Also worth saying, when we originally got back on the ship, I went and I put down the incredibly heavy telecommunications.
Well, you don't
device.
want to continue carrying that
I'm
around.
not going to continue carrying that around. I just wanted to pawn it. I don't get anything I want.
So, real quick,
Okay.
redescribe to me everything that everyone's doing. So, Nona is staying with the ship on the ramp.
With a gun.
Micah is. Are you heading off with Alex, Delia, and Atlas, or are you staying closer to Nona, sort of keeping an eye on just the general vicinity of things?
Yeah, well, it doesn't look like there's a huge distance between where we parked and the crash, so I think I'm staying sort of in the middle.
Okay.
I'm covering them, but also if someone was going to try and sneak on the ship, I would sort of be able to stop that too.
Cool. And
I'm heading towards the thing. Kind of the way it worked in the mines when there was like an injured person or like some kind of cave-in or something. I was medic, and Atlas would kind of like lift things that I could not lift.
Mhm.
So in this case, my thing is I'm gonna go open the door and have Atlas like haul the person out, and I'm gonna use expend some effort to stabilize that person if he is dying.
Okay, so as you all are running towards the second truck, which has the injured man inside it, I'm going to need you to roll another wisdom notice check,
Okay.
and Atlas and Delia will do the same.
9.
Nice.
Delia got a 4.
Damn, Delia, be better at noticing things.
Atlas got a 6.
Okay, you can stay for now.
So, Alex, you're the only one to notice this. But these supplies, the first truck has these. Its cargo was open at whenever caused it to crash, and some of its supplies, like the food and medicine, is all strewn about on the road itself. The third truck didn't have its back door opened. The second one appears to have been opened as you head towards the driver. Do you continue going towards the driver?
Yes, I do. And looking at the truck, if Delia's with us, I'm assuming that she has her pistol out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to point at the open doors, the open truck doors, trying to also catch Micah, because I think that if there's somebody going through and like grabbing supplies, they're currently in the second truck where they're working their way back.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm still gonna try to get the driver out of and away from the fire, please.
Cool. So you can just immediately stabilize him, right?
Yeah, I am gonna try to do a heal check because I have a healer
Okay.
ability. So that's heal as a bonus skill. Attempt to stabilize one mortally wounded adjacent person as an on-turn action. When rolling heal skills, roll 3d6 and drop the lowest dice, and then add heal and wisdom. Is that how that works? Or intelligence?
Yes.
Cool. Is that wisdom or intelligence?
I think it's intelligence. I need to look that up. It might be also the better of the two. I would assume it's intelligence, though. You're healing a person. You're not
Okay,
doing
so
something wise.
with that, it's 12.
Okay. So he is stabilized. You weren't able to tell when you first saw him there, but he is just barely holding on. If you had not gotten to him now and a little bit later, he definitely would have been passed. So you are going to try, and Atlas is going to try to pull him out, is what you...
Yeah.
Okay. So right now, he's the cage that he was in is pinned himself a little bit because of crashing into the first truck. So it will require an exert check. Are you going to help Atlas on that exert check?
I mean, yeah, for sure.
So here's how I'm going to play this. Atlas can do this, but how long it will take might change depending on how this roll goes.
Okay.
Are you going to help him on this, or you just let him? Okay.
Do I roll
You
too?
also
Is that
roll.
how that works?
Yeah.
What is that? Strength, exert. Got it.
Yeah, it's strength exert.
Oh, good. 0.
Fantastic.
Alex doesn't help at all, but Atlas rolled a 12, so
So it's fine.
I like go for it, and Atlas just like bam.
slaps your hand like, no, stop.
Nice.
And he takes the bent metal, and just you can see his muscles sort of tense as he flexes and pulls this cage open a little bit, so you can slip this man out.
All right, I take my on-turn heal from before, and I'm hoping that Delia is watching the back of the ship.
She is, and that prying open the cage that the driver was in definitely made some noise, and you now are hearing voices from the inside of the second caravan.
Okay. Yeah, so healing, I'm going to pick up the body and I'm going to drag it away from the fire. Was there somebody else in the ship?
No, it was just that man.
All right, I'm dragging him back and I'm letting Atlas and Delia just kind of stay in front of me, please.
Okay, so Delia is going to be probably in front. Yeah. Okay. And Atlas is he the orange one?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So I'd probably be more like this, but not too big of a deal. So you hear some rustling in the back of the second truck, and you see a couple of figures, several figures emerge. There are 3 men. Well, all 4 of them are men. One of them is currently in the hands of another, and 2 more have, what do they have? You see a man with, the one with the revolver is holding the other man hostage, it appears to be, and you see the other 2 men. Let me describe these men for you. They are identical twins.
That makes it easier. to
Yeah,
describe.
it is very makes it easier to describe. They are identical twins, jet black skin, like
Cool.
of full-blooded African men. and they have paired tattoos. And by paired tattoos, I mean one has this tattoo on the right eye, and the other one has a tattoo of the same sort of tattoo that radiates from the eye and goes out towards the edge of their face on the left eye.
Nice.
The one that has the tattoo on their left eye also appears to have a silver plate that comes down around the front of his neck. And this man, the silver-necked one, has a knife. The other man has what appears to be a laser rifle. The one with the laser rifle shouts out to, "Who do we have here?" Oh, that was bad. Sorry. Hey!
I'm stealing here.
I'm an Italian African man. I'm sorry. Oh God, I was practicing this earlier. Hey.
Now it's a Buster Stallone. It's a different type of Italian.
No,
Sorry,
I
just,
do.
just go with it.
Give me 1 sec.
For what it's worth, Alex is not responding at this. Whatever this man sounds like, whatever voice he lands on, Alex isn't saying a word, and he's gonna drag that body around the truck around this guy. That's where he's going.
He says, "What do we have here?" So very large man, and he points the laser rifle at you guys. Are you guys going to immediately say anything?
Which guys? We're in very different places.
Sorry. Well, we got these guys. There we go. And I guess I should get another color.
So they're right at the back of the second
Just do that.
ATV.
Go.
I don't say anything.
I'm definitely pointing my gun back at them. Not firing it, but they're pointing it at us.
That's completely fair. Are you not immediately responding?
No, I am not. I'm a little like it's in my head. It's oh shit. And I'm just if I can do that.
All right, so you've pulled him sort of around the corner, so neither you nor the injured man is currently in view of the assailants, you would assume.
Just where I want to be.
Invisible from the danger.
How good so I'm on the ramp, so obviously like I'm up a bit, but like in terms of where everybody else is standing, how in view am I? Could I reasonably get over to where Alex is without anybody getting particularly mad? Like they might see me, but
I think right now they really only see they saw Alex pull the man around the corner, but really right now they only see Delia and Atlas and maybe off to the off in the distance Micah.
okay.
Because I assume, Micah, you would want to see what was going on. So
Yeah. I was definitely keeping them in.
Then
I was considering potentially going and seeing if I could start up one of them hover cycles.
which hover cycle?
The one that's behind, like near us.
Okay.
The one that I like, down ramp around back of big ass ship, because like according to this drawing, our ship is directly between all of the trucks and all of the action that's happening, and there being a hover cycle there. So like, I don't know. Having one of those could be neat.
That's completely fair
in this particular circumstance.
So as the conversation that's about to play out, or if it jumps into a fight, I might have require you to actually use your turn to do that. But depending on how long this conversation goes, you may or may not get all the way to the grav cycle itself. No one immediately addresses this man after saying, "Who all are you?" He says, "All right." Oh, fuck the whatever.
Yeah.
Accents are hard, dude.
Yet you keep forcing yourself.
You gotta try, right?
That's fair.
Yeah,
Yes, you do.
I wouldn't, but that's me.
All right. Why don't everyone put their guns down? And he sort of starts to lower his gun a little bit. The man off to the side with the silver plating just looking between everyone, sort of sizing everyone up. And his twin continues. My name is Dombari. We were given a job to ambush this caravan. If you don't want to bother us, we don't want to bother you. We will go on our merry way. If you do want to bother us, though, I will have you know, I have killed many a man. And so, are you guys going to immediately do anything? Delia is a little shocked at this moment in time. Atlas is audibly growling. Neither of them seem to be too inclined to lower their guns, as this was obviously their caravan.
Yeah, and they're holding one of the drivers at gunpoint right now,
Yes.
right? Okay, yeah. I'm not putting my gun down.
I ready my laser pistol.
Okay.
Again. And I pat the guy on the head. Like, okay, you stay here.
So you all right.
All right.
Take the shot back.
So the man speaks up again. Why are you not talking? We should talk. Or lower guns at the very least. No?
I mean,
I'm not
he
really-
doesn't see me, and he doesn't see Alex
No, he
right
doesn't.
now,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So
I mean,
it's on you, buddy.
I'm like all the way back here. I would be having like a shouted conversation.
That's fair.
Hello!
I guess if
Go
it
for
looks
it.
like Delia and Atlas are just not gonna talk, which I guess is fair enough. I guess I will approach closer and I will keep my gun trained on them.
Oh dear.
The one holding the hostage specifically.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say, look, what do you need to happen here for this all to go not tits up? Assuming that we want that person back. We've got some interest here. Now what do you need out of this?
What I need is to take the guns that are currently in this shipment here, along with myself, out. You may have the man. You may have the rest. Well, you may have the other man I saw pulled around the corner there. As for the rest of the supplies, I am to burn them. We are to burn them.
See, that doesn't really sit great with our job that we've been paid for, much as I'm sure you're being paid for your work. See, because we're here to protect this shipment, so might get a little dicey. Seems like a tough spot for us.
Well, I tried. And he takes the gun and trains it on you, and we are going to enter combat.
All right.
So
What's
everyone
the
rolls a
initiative?
d8.
A D8 for initiative.
I tried, guys. I'm not exactly the conversationalist.
Do we add anything to
Well,
initiative?
I guess I am.
You add your
Better
dexterity
than
modifier.
Got
two
it.
NPCs.
Yeah.
One.
And what do we roll for initiative again? It's
Shit,
D8.
there's so many goddamn people. Why did I
Or
do
wait, is
this?
it D12?
D8.
It's
It is
D8
the D8, okay.
plus dexterity modifier, which I got a mighty 3,
Okay, I have 6.
which is actually probably pretty good for me because I want to go later. I
Hold
think.
those in your memory right now.
Yeah.
So let me just.
Got it. Holding that in my memory.
Do, do, do,
Calculated
do,
initiative.
do.
Always the best part of doing combat.
Yeah, you know, it's the best. All right, give me those. Give me those again.
3.
3.
6 for me.
1 for Alex.
Oh, jeez. Micah, you said 6.
Yes.
I have a feeling our NPC friends are going to die.
Do you?
That's their own problem.
It's true.
Oh,
I thought you liked Delia and Atlas.
I do.
we need them to
Alex
pay
does.
us.
I've never met them. Me, David.
Well, we can just gather more of this stuff up and add it to our collection of things to sell
Yeah, but
somewhere else.
The whole good thing about this plan was that it got us quick money now.
So Tumbari is going first,
Cool.
followed by his brother, Adewale.
Oh, also, incredibly important question when you have a chance, Jeff.
Yeah.
With the way that they are standing, are their tattoos lined up so they connect towards each other, or are they standing the other way so that it goes out?
Frame their faces.
Tumbari is the one with, I believe it's over his left, so it's meeting in the middle right now. He's in the center, and Adewale's to his left.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Okay.
And
Love
the
it.
other man who is yet to identify himself is to the right, holding the hostage.
Mhm.
I'm surprised they didn't shoot him yet.
Well, maybe they're going to do that.
I mean, sure, maybe.
Who knows?
Who knows, really? I need to write down these things. Give me a second.
Sorry.
Wow,
Being distracted.
you guys did not do good when it came to the... Micah, what's your dexterity modifier?
My modifier is 0.
Okay. Delia will be moving before you, then she also got a 6. All right. Wow. They basically all act before you guys.
It happens.
It does happen.
So, Tumbari is the one with the laser rifle. He is going to take aim at the closest person to him, which I believe is Delia.
Yeah.
Seems like.
Delia.
I mean, not cool. He hits. Playing with myself right now.
I was just about to say. Now let us all watch.
Laser rifles hurt like a mofo. It's a D12 and here D10.
Delia instantly dies.
Delia takes 2 damage. So it hits off her shoulder. It's very clearly a hit. She's fine at the moment.
She's dead.
She's dead.
It's too late for
She
her.
survived, but
Dead.
she's dead.
Adewale is now going. He does not have a gun. He has a knife. And he is
That's going to
going...
be slightly unfortunate for him, given how far apart everybody is standing.
Exactly. So he's going to run up specifically to Atlas, and that's going to be his move. He's running at the big bear. He's going to cut him up.
That's really stupid of him.
He's really good with a knife.
He's ready to go with a knife, man.
Great for us, but usually you have a knife, you go after the giant bear person?
Yeah.
No,
that seems to be his
that's
train of
happening.
thought.
Absolutely right.
It makes sense for his
I mean-
character. I'm just saying he's real dumb.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Or very
I mean-
brave.
He could be both.
He could be both.
Might even be both.
The henchman who has the man in his grasp has the gun to his head and pulls the trigger, and that man is dead.
1 out of 3.
Well, that's lame.
Delia now goes. Delia has a laser pistol, and she is going to take a shot at the man who just shot her friend. Makes sense. She misses.
Yeah.
Fun times. Finally, our first PC gets to go. Micah, what are you doing?
So am I close enough to... Oh, so there are still 4 people against us here? Or we're just...
3.
There are 3.
That guy dead now.
That's a dead hostage man.
That's
Okay.
a dead hostage, man.
Okay, so there are 3 of them.
We'll miss you. What's your face?
Whatever. I'm sure Delia knew
Whatever
his
your
name.
was.
Am I close enough to
Joe.
the 2 who didn't move in
It's too soon.
against Atlas, the ones who are still there? Am I close enough to like get into melee range with them?
Yeah, if you'd like.
Okay.
I
So
don't know if you'd be able to take... Oh, yeah.
am I like...
Yeah, I think you're close enough to the one that's in melee range of Atlas to get engaged with him and then take a swing.
Okay, but not to the other 2.
Not to the other 2. The other man spent his entire turn, Adewale, spent his entire turn running
true.
up and didn't attack.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so then I'm going to come up to to circle around Atlas and the one who's attacking him with the knife.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to use as an on-turn action, I'm going to flicker out the telekinetic weapon that I'm holding.
All right.
So I'm getting rid of the rifle that I was carrying before and summoning in what looks like this like a large like I-beam, basically like a big ass steel looking beam, still,
All right.
still made out of like the same kind of flat yellow planes of telekinetic force.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm going to go and try and like whack like a baseball bat at this guy's head with it.
All right. Roll to hit.
Remind me what that roll is. Is that a D20?
It's a D20.
Okay. Got a 15.
That hits. Roll for damage.
Hooray.
All right.
You did it. You beat the guy with an IB.
That is a 7 for damage.
Ooh. So you wind up and smack this I-beam into this man's where exactly do you want to hit him? Like
Right
the
in
chest,
the
his
eye.
head? Right in the eye.
I think I was going just for this body.
Right. So you hit him and it's a big body blow that almost seems to radiate through his entire body and he stumbles for half a second. Not down, but that really hurt him.
Oh, right. That's my turn, I think.
Nona.
Can I have a motorcycle yet?
You can get into a motorcycle. Yeah, I think there was a long enough time to have this discussion. So
okay.
you can be in the motorcycle, you can start it up, and you can start driving it.
Okay.
But I don't think you can get anywhere.
No,
near.
that's completely fair. My adventure plans is to sort of circle around that final truck, like go down and, get around behind the other two people.
I see what you're saying. Okay,
Yeah.
so you want to like pincer them almost.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Yeah. You probably would get there at the end of the second turn, the end of your next turn, if that makes sense. If that's what you're doing, so you could get there. You're probably going to be like around here, and then next turn you can get there.
That's fair. I'm going to guess this means that these things are actually a lot farther apart than they are, though, right? Because that feels like about the distance that man could run in a single turn.
I mean, he ran across the road basically, but these are the motorcycles themselves are 30 meters out from the road.
Oh, I see. Okay, cool. All right. Yeah, I guess I'll do that.
So you are in the motorcycle now. You started moving. We could probably move you like here-ish.
Cool.
I assume you're trying to stay out of sight as much as possible before you. Okay, and that's your turn. Atlas now goes, and he is also going to take a shot at the henchman that just shot his friend. He has a laser rifle.
Bang.
And he also misses. Great, a lot of help these NPCs are.
Yeah.
Alex, it's now your go.
Yes. I'm going to use a main action to ready my Lazarus patches, which is a thing I can do and should be helpful. That was a main action. And then I'm going to... There's nobody in the third truck that I'm right by, right?
No, the man that was just shot, you could assume to have been the third driver.
Got it. Great. I'm going to peek my head out there just to keep watch over the action, but that's going to be my turn. It's getting those Lazarus patches out of my backpack.
Cool.
All right. It's back to Tumbari's turn.
Mm-hmm.
Spelled that wrong in my... Okay. He has a laser rifle and he's going to start backing up towards the hover bike. He sees that he's a little bit overmatched with just the numbers of people. So he's backing towards the hover cycle itself, probably about 5 meters or so, and is going to take another shot at the closest person to him, which is Delia. He misses.
It's actually, I think, Micah.
Is it Micah now?
Yeah, I think I rotated around. So
Okay. So he would take a shot at you. He misses anyway, though. So this man's probably going to be a little bit farther back here.
Okay.
He's going to be off the road. Adewale is super pissed that he just got hit for 7 damage, so he's going to go at Micah with his mono knife.
Fight me.
He's the melee brother,
Put him up.
which is also why he's... God, I'm rolling so shit. I rolled a 4.
Good.
I don't think that hits.
That certainly does not hit.
Now, the question is, do you have...
shock damage?
Yeah, AC of 15 or less?
I do not. I have AC of 16.
Oh, you do not take shock damage then.
Psychic armor.
Some
Fantastic.
bullshit.
Love it. Love it.
So this man, he's used to... You can tell he's a bit of a melee dude. Like, he likes to kill not from a distance.
Scrap.
So he's scrappy. And he takes a swipe at you, and it gets sort of jammed up in your telekinetic armor. And this is not something that he's seen before. And he does not like it. And it almost enrages him a little bit more. He's never spoken this entire time. You don't even hear like a grunt coming from him. So you can just see that, though, he's seething anger right now.
I give him a little grin. Flash him the pearly whites.
The henchman takes a shot at the bear, because the bear's scary. Can you see the bear? Vaguely, maybe.
No,
No.
everybody's
You
so-
can move and see the bear.
The one who's not one of the
Yeah,
brothers.
he's gonna move as well and try to see the bear, because the bear's scary, and he's gonna shoot the bear.
Surprise, Nona.
Yeah, pretty much. I kind of expected they were gonna go backwards.
I rolled a 1. He crit failed.
Hooray.
He's gonna explode.
He's gonna
He just-
explode.
Everyone
These guys
dies.
suck.
He takes out the other guys.
Actually, no. I'm
sitting
gonna say his revolver jams.
Ah,
He's gonna need to spend an action unjamming it in order to shoot again. So let me just write that down so I don't forget. It is Delia's turn. I added too many NPCs to this fight. She is going to take a shot at Adewale to try and finish him off. She hits him.
Well,
That's
So-
the one who's right next
that's
to
the
us.
melee brother.
Yeah, that's melee. Bro.
Is there the issue of him having a melee weapon and her using a gun?
She's not engaged with him. You're
Got
engaged with him.
Got it.
I think there is.
What?
I can't remember.
If you're like
You guys are engaged?
not for long.
Oh my god, what a turnabout.
The laser pistol damage, I believe it's just 1d6. Give me a sec.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just 1d6.
So she takes her aim and hits the man directly in the chest, and he falls over and slumps over and is dead. At this point, and this is the first time I've actually done this, there's a thing in the Stars Without Number system that when the NPC group starts taking its first casualties or realizes it might be losing a fight,
Mhm.
they have a thing called a morale check
Mhm.
to say, oh, I'm here to fight some more, or fuck this, I'm out.
Right.
So I'm going to roll a morale check for Tambari and the henchman.
That guy doesn't even get a name.
No. Tambari and Adewale were the cool ones. There's just
Henchman.
Henchman 1.
Oh, it's John Henchman
It's John. It's the henchman.
Of the henchmans.
of the Henchmans, the New England Henchmans.
They both, the henchman, you would assume, for just the fact that someone died, breaks. Tambari, because the fact that his brother just died, also breaks, and they start sprinting towards the hover cycle.
Okay. We'll see about
not,
that.
Yeah, not necessarily. This is what they appear to start doing. They haven't actually taken their turns yet.
No, I get you.
And that was with Delia's shot killing Adewale.
Mhm.
Micah.
I'm gonna give Delia, our employer, kind of a questioning look. I'll ask her, like, do we want to kill him?
You see her, and she seems to be... You can tell that she hasn't necessarily killed a person before. So her focus right now is kind of only on the person that she just shot. she doesn't really hear outside noise. So you try to talk to her, but she's somewhere else right now.
All right. Well, better to cover our bases.
Very reasonable.
Yeah.
Very pragmatic.
Gotta get paid, baby. So I assume I'm still out of like run up and hit them with the stick range because they kind of backed up.
Yes.
Okay.
You are out of that range.
Okay, so I'm gonna try and line up a shot, flicker out the I-beam, get my rifle back, and shoot at the henchman
Okay.
who is closer.
All right. Take a shot.
Bing bang.
Bing, bang, bing, bing.
16 is a 20.
That hits.
And that is going to do so this there is 9 damage.
So you line up your shot. It's a rifle, right?
Yeah.
So you line up your rifle after just battering Adewale, and you look down the Skype. You look down the scope at the man who just shot a prisoner or a hostage in front of you, and you shoot him dead. Shot through the heart. So he falls
I am to
down
blame.
dead on the
And rolls
pavement.
away.
And you could tell in Tambari's eyes if he wasn't going to run because Adewale died. You can tell he's booking it now. It is now Nona's turn. This man.
I would like to run this man down on a motorcycle.
Vroom, vroom
You're gonna
times.
try and run over him.
Maybe.
You definitely
So
can.
here's
Do
my
it.
2 options. I've been thinking about this since the beginning of this turn.
It's
I
been
can
at
either
least 2 seconds.
run him down on the motorcycle, or I can try and get closer to him and shoot. But I think, as I recall from like an earlier version of this game we played, that if you're driving, doesn't that like kind of throw off and like make it less likely that you're going to be able to hit things?
If you are if your car is moving or the vehicle
Yeah.
that you are in is moving, yes. If you park it and then fire, no. If that makes sense.
Don't you
So
just
if you
know
do, like,
deep
a
in
little-
your heart you want to run him over?
Really
right?
Spin
want
out.
to run him over though.
You're gonna Simpsons hit and run this man.
Okay.
And don't pretend like you're not.
I don't think that this is there's not necessarily rules in the rule book for running a man down with a
Really?
vehicle.
That's
But
surprising.
here,
That seems like a big oversight on their part.
here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to sort of rule it as kind of like a grenade. So first, you need to actually aim at this man. So I'm going to need you to do I would assume an intelligence or dexterity pilot check for like driving
Cool.
at him. And if you hit the level of which you need to, you're going to do you're going to hit him, or you're going to be able to hit him, and then he has an opportunity to try and avoid that.
7.
Okay, so you are on course to hit this man.
Fantastic.
Yes.
I
That's all
want
I ever wanted.
Line up the shot.
how fast are hover cycles? Give me 1 second.
I-
It's a speed of 2. Okay, here's how I'm gonna rule this. Roll 2d8, and he's going to try and make a save. If he makes the save, he's going to have this damage. Does that make sense?
That's fair.
That's a D10.
Wait, yeah.
Yeah, that's not a D8. You're right. I was like, how does one get a 9?
I did real good, guys.
Oh!
That's good.
8.
8 damage in total?
On the 2d8, you said,
Yes.
right? Yes.
Okay. So he did not make his save, so you hit him full force and toss him over the hover cycle. He is not dead, but he is very badly wounded.
Perfect. Actually, exactly what I wanted.
So you sort of flip him over, and he lands hard on the rocky ground.
I'm going to do one of those cool skid slide to a stops now after running over a person.
All right. Okay. So that was Nona's turn.
So
Atlas
now I'm
now
between-
gets
I
to
sh-
go.
I'm between him and the other hover bike, right? Because he
Yes.
flipped over me.
Yeah, you can move, Nona.
Fantastic. These are my vehicles now. No one else
I
may
can
have
sell these vehicles for money.
them. Money can be exchanged for goods and services.
And Atlas is going to he's going to move up and take a shot at the downed man.
Is the guy prone as we've shown here or not?
He is prone.
Okay.
Did he land on his feet? He was like,
I got hit by a car, but I landed on my feet.
Huh.
He's
Do we
taking a
want
shot.
to maybe not completely kill him?
Do you want to ask?
Do you want to yell out
that?
at Atlas, the bear man who just saw like his friends get shot in front of him, to stop?
No, because that's not in character for my character. My character does not care. I just
Alex,
wanted to bring
would
this
you
up
have
to
any?
other people.
All right.
It
So,
occurred to me if it got back to my turn, but
Just to see. Well, is that an on turn? Is that a thing you have to wait your
Fuck.
turn to
you
do?
missed.
No, he got it. He that was a critical success.
All right.
Oh, great. Yeah.
That man's head does not exist anymore.
Yeah, basically that.
I figure if it's going to like
Um,
interfere with their turn, probably.
Atlas
that's fair.
Atlas moves forward, lines up his shot, and takes a shot at the downed man and obliterates him.
Fantastic.
So you are now here with 2 grav cycles richer, hover cycles richer. The driver that you saved is unconscious.
He's
not-
still alive?
Yeah, he's still.
Hell yeah, I'm going to run up and heal that boy.
No. The one you saved.
Oh, the one that I
yeah.
saved,
Already.
not the one that was hit in the head. I assumed he was dead.
Yeah, that man was shot in the
Quite
head
dead.
and was killed.
Oh, sad.
Cool.
Yeah, I can't do much if he doesn't have a head.
Yeah, that's actually like written in the thing.
Those exact words.
And
Yeah.
there's no rules about running people over.
No, there's not.
That does
But there's
shock me.
if you are well, I guess he still has his head, but there's the thing
hole
about
in it.
healing and
Less of
kinesis.
There's a difference between mortally wounded and just dead.
yeah. But he is very dead.
Yeah.
So this is the scene in which we're going to end today's episode.
Sounds great.
Oh man.
Yeah, a little bit of a bummer, but you got rid of the okay. I had names and backstories for them, and they're just dead. Okoye.
Yeah.
brothers.
So
Well,
that's the way.
maybe we'll
the
have
cookie
more
crumbles.
brothers.
Here's looking at you, San
a
Francisco.
whole planet.
A koi bee, perhaps?
Oh no.
It's not too bad.
Yeah.
Good night, Wisconsin.
Very important. You all level up to level 2.
Wow!
How does that even work? When
Are we discussing how that works right now?
No, we'll talk about it
Okay.
next week.
Ooh, that's a little
Yay.
bonus stinger content.
Yeah.
Just for you, the fans.
I have no idea how this
The
works.
fan. Shout out to our 2 audience members.
Shout out to the best Pokemon. Lord. Keep it real since 1966.
All right.